What's up YouTube? Welcome to another video. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful day. Beautiful fucking day to be out for a little spoon around on the motorcycle. Man, I was freaking out this morning because one of you said in the comments of my last video, oh, it looks like you've got a hole in your tire, bro. Freaking out. So I was just like checking over my wheel this morning. So I was like, oh damn, I don't actually think I do. It doesn't feel funny like that. And thankfully there was nothing there because these tires are not cheap, man. I don't know if you guys can see this as well, but my visor is absolutely covered with the remains of suicidal insects who have decided to end their miserable lives on my face. A lot of you guys have been asking me, oh, Duke Bolide, should I buy a used motorcycle or should I get that new motorcycle? What the hell is that? Alright, and then to that I say, well, it really depends. Like, it really does depend. Jake TheGardenSnake actually made a very good video on this quite recently, and the funny thing is that he actually has now got the same Ninja as I do, which is mad, absolute madness. An ocean candy blue, as they call it, 2005 ZX6R 636. He makes a very good point on his video. Basically, he wants to show you that you can get a used motorcycle for barely anything, really. Put a few little bits and pieces on it that will make it, in some ways, equivalent to the newer models, which I think is a pretty cool idea. I don't think these older bikes will ever be the same specification, technical specification, in regards to electronics and things like that as the newer bikes. They obviously won't, but engine-wise and power-wise, there's absolutely nothing in between them, which is quite funny to kind of realise. I mean, he makes a very good point, which is like, this 2005 ZX6, I mean, it only makes, I think it's like, what, half a brake horsepower less than the newer model, which is crazy if you think about it. So I put this bike up for 3 grand. That's pounds, that's the Queen's English, you know, money. You can see that guy has cameras there on his back of his lorry. So I picked up for 3 grand, and like, it spanks pretty much every other 600 I've ever met. It's faster than most of them, which is crazy. It just is. And for the price, performance, like, you're not gonna get anything much better. Oh, I just got attacked by another insect. Just bukaki'd all over my face. Brilliant. Considering that new ZX6Rs are like sort of over 10 grand, which for me is a mind-boggling sum of money for something on 2 wheels that's essentially a toy, it just doesn't really make financial sense. Whereas you can pick these up for like, I've seen these on eBay for like 2.5, 3 grand kind of thing, which is mental really if you think about it. You can get something so fast and so modern as well. Like, what many people don't realize is that these Ninjas, I mean the 2005, 2006 models, they were pretty far ahead of their time. So you have a slipper clutch as standard, cool LED dash, lap timer, fully adjustable front forks, sweet undertail exhaust. Probably one of the best gearboxes around, to be completely honest with you. Right, where am I going to park this bitch? Hi Benji! Hi Benji! Benji, you're hitting my bike with your tail. Oh, there's a pack here. Hey Brecken, this is Brecken. Man, I really need to clean off my visor. I mean, okay, so what are you really getting for the extra money that you may spend on a newer bike? The problem about older versions and getting I nearly nodded to a cyclist there, that was very odd. Don't know what style of riding the owners have had on it, you know. There are some tell signs, you can have a look. You can see if the tyres are completely shredded out. If they are, then you know the guy's been sort of like racing it or tracking it. On a new bike, you don't have to worry about what's happened to it before. But what you do have to worry about on a new bike is new parts fail quite often actually. New bikes that have to come back within sort of like 6 months or so to have major work done, like, you know, wiring looms or things like that. And obviously that will be done under warranty, but again, you might not have your bike for a couple weeks after the major work is carried out. So those are all things to consider. I've ridden the 2017 model ZX6R, and frankly speaking, there's literally no difference in power. The thing that it does have though, obviously, is the traction control and power modes, which depending on your view of riding, you may turn off anyway. Let's see if the police pull me over here. I'm like 99% sure they're turning around right now. That cop just did a U-turn behind me. Let's see if they turn off and start following me. I don't know why, I'm not doing anything illegal, but I think you just always get worried whenever on your bike, because you kind of think that, especially when you have cameras and stuff, you kind of think that the police automatically think you're doing something naughty. This bike, this 2005, has 1-power mode, which is on lunatic mode, is what it's called. That's the technical term for it. It doesn't have A, B or C or any of that rubbish. Nor does it have traction control, but what it does have are fantastic brakes, and if you have good tyres, you shouldn't have to worry too much about it. Traction control for me is more important on bikes with huge amounts of torque, which this bike doesn't really have. So if you're riding a 1000cc or something like a KTM Super Duke, then you would want traction control. But because this is a 600 inline 4-cylinder bike, it's not really that needed, because most of the power comes when you're already going very quickly. I actually prefer this bike in many regards to the new one. And the first thing is comfort. The 2005 ZX6, it is probably one of the largest sort of 600cc sport bikes you can ever get. That doesn't reduce its cornering ability or anything like that. What it does do is, like, it has a very nice large seat for the thickness, you know, for my thick ass. For a sport bike, very comfy. I've been on this sound of 4 hours straight, no problems at all. Hi, Rollo. Hi, monkey. Hello. Oh, hi. How are you? Oh, I know. Oh. I'm just going around and seeing the dogs today, aren't I? That giant turd on the floor. I guess the other thing I love about this bike is this aesthetics, man. Like this, I think this looks so much better than the new ones. Just simply because I love the undertail exhaust. It just like makes the motorcycle. I love anything with an undertail exhaust. Oh god, it tickles my nutsack real good. The other reason as well why you should probably think about buying used is that it's just so much cheaper on insurance. That looks like green for me. You probably ran a red light, mister. That is a beautiful old car. Look at that. Gorgeous. It's just so much cheaper on the insurance for basically the same kind of like speed and horsepower and stuff. So if you're just starting out, or if you're on a budget, really think about getting a used bike. Plus I do find that buying used as well, you have a slightly higher peace of mind, because you know, most likely you haven't taken out a financing package on it because you didn't need to, which means that if you do actually have a crash, you're not going to be absolutely spanked by paying any depreciation in the value of the bike, because what the insurance companies do is, when they give you a payout, is they give you the market value of the bike. So let's say you drive off the showroom floor, you've instantly lost 30% on your original purchase. You're sticking out nicely, dickhead. And what that means is that when you do get your payout, you won't get the full amount you paid. Plus on top of that, you still owe interest on it, don't you? So unless you have gap insurance, which is an extra cost, you're going to end up really sucking it up, even if you're fully on your insurance. It hasn't depreciated in value since I bought it. I've had it for a year and they're still going for the same price what I bought it for. In fact, they may even appreciate, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So I'll ride a bike for a year and then I'll actually be able to sell it and make a profit because I've taken care of it. Touch wood. Now I have this this fly that's just sticking off my visor. You can see it there, look. It's really pissing me off, but I don't want to flick it off because it will smudge everywhere, get its juices everywhere. Okay, fuck it, it's pissing me off. There we go. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is G-Blade, and if you have liked this video, please give it a like. Mildly abuse the subscriber button, and do be sure to hit the notification bell, guys. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace out, homies. Ciao.